Hi everyone, I am Miss M and I have a quick tip for you on taking your ACE Psych exam for paper 2 specifically. This has to do with research methods. Okay, so when you are evaluating a study, I know that the concepts of validity and reliability are really hard to grasp. Okay, there's different types of reliability, there's different types of validity, and at the end of the day, when you're evaluating one of the studies, they might ask you, was the Menten-Kleitman study reliable? Was it valid? And so on. Now, how are you going to know this quickly, like right off the bat, instead of, taking time to try to conjure something up? Well, if you can remember that if a study had standardized procedures, okay, then the study is most likely going to be reliable. So what I'm trying to tell you is, if you don't know the exact answer, if you can go back in the study and remember if there were standardized procedures, and this is basically the researcher is writing down verbatim, step by step by step by step, so each participant knows and performs the same exact steps. Okay, so for example, there were a lot of standardized procedures in Milgram's study, where the participant came in and they had the exact same procedure. They sat down next to the stooge, they drew for lots, they were always the teacher, they went back to the room where they saw the shock machine, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so if a study has standardized procedures, then it is most likely reliable. And that just means that it's like your best friend. Reliability is like your best friend, always there when you need them. They are there time and time again. They show up. They are consistent. Okay, so reliability is being able to repeat the same study over and over and getting similar results. So if a study has standardized procedures, then we're going to know how to execute that study effectively and basically copy it from the original version. Okay, now, if a study has good controls, or it has a lot of controls, then you can say that a study has good validity, internal validity. Okay, so if a study has good controls or a lot of controls, let's take Canley, for example. There was 2.88 seconds that participants were allowed to view each scene. Why is that important? Well, if some people were allowed to view a scene longer than other people, then maybe they would change their emotions, maybe noticing more detail in the image that's going to, change their scoring of that image. All right, so if we have controls, the controls are what's telling us that it is in fact the independent variable that is causing the dependent variable to occur, then those controls are what is making our study valid. Okay, validity, is it valid? It's like a signature on your debit card. Okay, we need to know that it's you, and only you, by that signature. And our controls are making us aware that it is the independent variable and only the independent variable that is making our study, is what it is. Okay, making it valid. Okay, so remember that's internal validity. So let me recap a little bit on this. If you have standardized procedures, most likely going to be high reliability. If you have a lot of controls, it's most likely going to have good internal validity. External validity has to do with ecological validity. So that's kind of easy. If it's a lab experiment, you're going to say it has low ecological validity. If it's a field experiment, you're going to say it has good ecological validity. Now, mundane realism is another vocab word that is kind of like ecological validity, but it has to do with the actions and the motions and, the things, the reality of what's going on, because a lab experiment can have mundane realism. Let's think Milgram's study has low mundane realism, even though it was a lab experiment. If you think about it, does that actually happen in real life? Actually, I don't know. Does it? But do we go to an experiment thinking it's learning and memory and end up trying to kill someone? Or not trying to, but accidentally killing someone? Like, think about that. It's not likely for that to occur in real life, for that action to occur. Where ecological validity has to do with the ecosystem, the surrounding of our participants. Okay? Good luck studying, guys.